What's up everyone, and welcome to the first tutorial that I'm going to be doing for the Digital Funhouse. I am Sean at the Digital Funhouse, and basically what I'm going to be doing is doing some tutorials within After Effects and whatever other programs that I use for some of the effects that we do within these videos. Some of you guys were curious about how I did the little spinning corkscrew kick in the first video called The Climb. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure I'll have the link in the description or something like that so you can check it out. If you're curious of how to do these effects and things like that, then I'll be doing the tutorial shortly after the videos are up, so just keep an eye out for that. So basically we're going to be doing that corkscrew kick here. So I'll warn you that I'm kind of self-taught with After Effects. I learned everything that I know pretty much through YouTube and stuff like that. So if you have a question that I don't answer, then you probably can find it somewhere else on YouTube or on Google. So go ahead and do that. And I'll also warn you that the way that I do things isn't necessarily the perfect way. There's always several ways to do things like this. Sometimes there's only one or two, but there's definitely other routes that you can take. For instance, in this video, I actually used a green screen. You don't have to use a green screen because I'm using all still images for the part that I do the actual spin. You could actually just rotoscope. If you don't know what that means, that basically just means to cut out the certain part of the picture that you want. So there's that. So let's go ahead and get started. So basically, you're going to see a lot of things here. I don't know if you guys don't understand exactly what you're looking at right now if you're new to After Effects. But basically all these here, at this eyeball over here, if it's off, you're not seeing it. I know it's there, but you're not seeing it on the screen right now. So I have it turned off right now for this little part, and I have some stuff set up already so this thing's a little bit faster than normal. But this still might run into a couple of episodes. Like this might be one or two of a series. That way you guys can get the whole effect, or it might just be one. I might be pretty quick at it, so we'll see. But basically all these are off, so you're not seeing this. So basically what we have here is right here is a freeze frame of a clean plate. This is what you want to get whenever you're shooting. You just want to shoot, get a clean plate of exactly what you're looking at. Unfortunately, my girlfriend was operating the camera here because I was obviously on the screen, and you want it to be on a tripod. You don't want the screen to move at all. Unfortunately, she moved it. I didn't know. It was just a small amount, but unfortunately, a small little amount does affect the way that it looks. There's ways to fix it. I'll get better at that in time, but I'm gonna try to make it look as good as I can. And whenever I've noticed, like whenever it comes to visual effects and stuff, if you're a beginner or even if you're kind of intermediate, you can kind of tell. You're always going to kind of tell that it's VFX, obviously, because you're doing an effect that isn't actually like something that would happen in reality. So just keep that in mind. So here's the clean plate, and then we have another clip here, which is the end of my kick, where I actually come out of the kick. I have it timed up already. I don't know if you guys have seen it already, or if you remember. I end up on this side of the screen, and I'm just kind of in motion. And what I did was I kind of just stood there and just kind of lunged my body as if I just came out of a spinning kick and landed on the ground. So I don't know if you want to see that real quick, but I'll play it. It's not rendered out, but there you go. Now I'll warn you also that I don't know all of the shortcuts and things for things that you're supposed to do that make things a little bit quicker. There's ways to get around that, and it just takes a little bit more time. But if you can, go ahead and learn those shortcuts and stuff. That's just something I'm thinking about right now, so I thought I'd mention it. So there's a clean plate, there's the ending kick, and then you have this. This is the starting of the kick. I'll go ahead and play that so you can see I do my little 2 punches, 1, 2, and then I pull up to do the kick, and that will stop about right there. And I'll go ahead and cut that right now. And how I'm going to cut that is I should be on the right. I have so many clips here. There we go. Yeah, I didn't think I was clicked on the right one. I'm going to end that right here. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to hold Option on the Mac or Alt on Windows and close bracket. The close bracket is right next to your backslash on your keyboard. Close bracket, and if you look, it actually cut off that clip right there. That's how I do it. There's other ways to do it. But basically, I'm going to want that to start right there. And then I'm going to want my bottom clip, which I'll pull up here for right now, to end somewhere over here. I don't know exactly the time frame because there's probably, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 frames is what it's going to be from this part of the clip where I start my kick all the way over until I end up over here. It's going to be 10 frames. Some of you guys should know exactly what all that means and everything. I'm just trying to be courteous to everybody here because I don't know if some people are beginners or you've been using After Effects for a while. So basically that's that. So now the last clip that we need for this effect is yourself in front of a green screen doing the actual spinning motion, or you can actually just stand somewhere and shoot it that way, and you can rotoscope yourself out later. I figured it'd be easier to use a green screen. Now considering that it's going to be so fast paced and there's going to be a lot of motion blur, this doesn't have to be perfect. you can actually, it doesn't have to be good quality at all. You're going to see whenever I do this, it's not very good quality. It was shot in low light. I didn't really set up the settings on the camera very well. I didn't change the white balance. I didn't change the ISOs. I just kind of shot it. I was in a hurry, and I knew it didn't have to be good quality, so that's that. So basically with this clip here, what I actually did was I stood on this stool in front of the green screen, and I kind of held the position that I wanted myself to be in while I was in midair. And then I did a full 360 rotation. You'll actually be able to see me moving here. Oh no, I actually already freeze framed it. But basically what I did was I did that full 360 rotation, and then I took all of those clips and just moved it in time and then created freeze frames. And what you can do with an actual clip of video is make it a freeze frame so it doesn't move and it's just a picture. And it can be on the screen as long as you want it to be. Then I cut myself out and I put myself where I want to be. Very simple. So you can actually achieve a lot of things with this effect. And actually, the new video, Brought a Sword to a Gunfight, we use that effect again, where the ninja goes spinning up into the air and he's blocking all those bullets. So you can do a lot of things with this effect that I thought was really interesting. I don't know how many big production companies do this stuff, but I don't think I see it too often. Maybe I'm just not noticing it. Who knows? But basically, here you go. Here's all these clips here. You're going to see me start to turn when I turn these on. 3, 4. You see how I'm in this rotation? Now they'll be timed up correctly to where each time it moves to another rotation, you won't see the last one. That's basically what you're seeing right now. You're seeing the last one pop on. So I'm going to show you guys how to go ahead and key this out. Now there's several ways you can actually key this out. There's better ways. There's, you know, ways that make your render speeds faster and all that type of stuff. I'm just going to do it the fast way. If you want to do it faster, like you want your computer to run faster as you're doing a lot of keying, you want to start with the color key and just key out as much of the green as you can and then go straight to the key light. Key light 1.2 seems to work the best for keying out things. Now what I'll do is just come over here, grab the little eyedropper tool, and just pick a green spot on the green screen that kind of looks to be the flattest. Like that's the most green that I see. I don't know if you guys can tell up here, there's a lot of dark green. Around the shadows of myself, there's some dark green. So I'm going to click somewhere where it looks like it's a pretty considerable green, like the same green is across the whole green screen. And you see that actually worked pretty well. And I'm keyed out pretty well. So if I go ahead, and this actually helps a lot for keying, is go up here to Layer, Create New, Solid, and you get a little gray solid here. You can go ahead and click on that if you want to change the color, or if you want to pick something on the screen, use the eyedropper tool. I can go ahead and change this around. Now it's actually gray because I did this before, and I want it to be gray. So I'm going to say okay here, and I'm going to go ahead and put that underneath that clip that I was trying to key out. Now that just gives you kind of a neutral color to where you can kind of see some of these darker shades here, and that's not necessarily what you want. That's going to be a lot of noise in the picture whenever you're shooting it. So if you take the screen gain and you start to raise this up, you'll start to see that all those little spots and things start to disappear. Now around myself, that's harder to get rid of. You can do it with some really fine tuning. I'm not going to worry about it because we don't need that grade of quality here. So now what I'm going to do, since I have a pretty clean plate there, you can actually do this from the start instead before you actually key. You can go ahead and take your mask tool here, this little pen tool, and if you click and drag, it gives you the Bezier curves. It's a little I forget what they're called. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I'm self-taught, so yeah, that's not starting on the side I want it to. So I'll start down here and just go ahead and roughly mask yourself out. You're just going to get rid of the tree in the background is basically what you're doing right now. And you just want to get the majority of, you know, the body and the position, the pose in there until you feel happy with it, and try to get rid of most of the extra stuff that's in there that you don't need. Should probably also warn you that my good mouse actually broke, so whenever I'm trying to do this stuff and my mouse is just not cooperating with me, that's going to happen. So now I don't need this gray solid anymore. I have that position. I just wanted to show you one frame, just for the sake of time, how you actually, instead of me doing all of them, how you would actually key that out. So I'm going to delete that gray solid there, and we're going to take a look at this first part here. So I'm doing my little punches, and right about, I might have done it there. I'm not 100% sure when I did it in the actual video, but when I started to get to the high point in my kick, that's when my character will pop off. And right here, if you can tell, my clean plate is actually pretty solid. Over here you see a little bit of footsteps where I was walking pop in. Not necessarily anything to worry about, because whenever that fast motion happens, people are going to kind of expect a lot of things to happen on the screen, and they won't really pay attention to it. Obviously, the least amount of stuff you get in there in your shot, the better, but not really much you can do about footsteps in grass. So I pop off there, and then the first frame, let me go ahead and grab all these and put them right where I come on. I'm going to have this one on. And it's going to turn all of them on. So let's go here, turn all these off, and go ahead and select them again. And right there, it might actually be right there, yeah. So if I go back, that's when I'm going to pop on. Now, to start this out, I'm going to go ahead and press P to pull up the position for all those clips there. Hold Shift, press S, just press, you don't have to hold it, and then press R. And that pulls up the position, scale, and rotation for each one of those clips. Okay, so the only one we're seeing right now is the first one. That's what I want right now. And it's in position where I want it to be. So if I go ahead and deselect all those clips and just grab this one. Actually, I want to have all those right now so I can scale them to the same scale. And I'm going to pull that back one frame, just so I can kind of scale myself up with these other clips here. Scale. Just kind of make it about what you think looks about right. Now I'm about the same size, and that's about what I want. Okay, now for, oh, yeah, it's been a while since I did this, and kind of a spur of the moment, do a tutorial. Pull those back into position, and then the next frame I should pop on. So what I want to do now is go ahead and click for the position right here on the stopwatch. Why am I not there? Guess it doesn't matter. I could just pull myself into frame there. There we go. We're gonna go ahead and scale this down. If you grab this here, it shortens your workspace here. I'm probably gonna need it about that long. I didn't set up the time frame and everything. I'm gonna pull that about there so I can actually be more precise on this stuff. So then I pop on, and I'm gonna press the position stopwatch so I can keyframe where I actually start and stop, and the rotation. So actually I don't really even need the rotation, I just need the position. And these are only going to be one frame long. So if I go ahead and press forward one frame, this next frame button here, and then I press Option, close bracket, that's as long as that frame's going to be. So I'm going to go back here where I want it to be, and let me scale this down more so I can actually see what I'm doing better. Just for the sake of seeing exactly where I'm going to be, I'm going to go right there, pull myself over. Oop. I just made a shape layer on accident. There we go. That's what I wanted. I'm going to just pull myself into where I want myself to be, and then I'm going to rotate myself to about, let's say, right there. Now if I go back to where my body on the ground is gone, I can pull this back to where it's supposed to be, and then I can go ahead and grab the next one. Now if I turn the next one on, now I can see it. I just want to go ahead and pull this over here. Oh, I don't need that to happen. And rotate it to where you just kind of want to think about how fast you would rotate your legs up into the air. So that's up there now. Just checking my audio recording. Yep, still going. Okay, so that's in position. And we're at 14 minutes here, so that's getting pretty long. But we're getting there. So about right. Well, let's go back a little bit. It's all about what you think looks about right. Whoops, wrong button. Scale that there, and then we can go ahead and move that one in position. And for some reason I'm getting the feeling that this isn't only one frame, even though I only clicked the frame button once. Oh, it is one frame. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a break here since we're at 15 minutes, and I'll come right back to go ahead and finish this up, and this will probably be uploaded another day, the second segment, and you can see the finish of this little effect here. I'm sorry this one kind of didn't tell you too much. I was just trying to explain everything, how I'm going to do things, and kind of my expertise on the program itself. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first one. Be sure to come back and check out the second episode. It'll be probably uploaded the very next day, and you guys can go ahead and see the rest of this effect. So this has been Sean with the Digital Funhouse, and I hope you guys have a good day.